Red Barn. Now, that's something special.
Television 9, your eyewitness news station.
In Arkansas, the Democratic Governor Bumpers has won re-election by a very handy 77% margin. We can now put Wisconsin in President Nixon's column. That was a state where Senator McGovern began his drive for the nomination with his first big victory, and where his forces were very well organized. He had hoped that he might take Wisconsin. It's one of the states that the Republicans thought he might very well take. But he has lost it, according to a CBS News estimate, 56% to 44%. Let's take a look now at the House races. We have been able to say so far that Republicans have won 39 seats and the Democrats 95. But more important is our estimate of the way those races in the House will come out. We estimate that the Republicans will win 194. That will be a pickup for the Republicans of 15 seats, but not enough to gain control of the next Congress in the House of Representatives. The Democrats, we estimate, will win 241 seats. And that will be enough to organize the House of Representatives by a very comfortable margin for the Democrats. And now this accounts for a possible 13 seats one way or the other. But even if those 13 seats all went for the Republicans, the House would still go to the Democrats, according to our calculations. We can now say, on the basis of our sample precincts from South Dakota, that Senator McGovern has not won his home state, that President Nixon will win South Dakota when all the votes are in by 55 to 45%. And that must be a blow for the Democratic candidate who has never lost a race in South Dakota. At Nixon headquarters in Washington's Shoreham Hotel, Dan Shore and Michelle Clark are with Nixon supporter Sammy Davis Jr.
Yes, Walter, I guess everyone who remembers seeing the Republican convention in Miami Beach remembers a great picture of Sammy Davis Jr. hugging President Nixon, who incidentally asked if you were trying to shoot him. Sammy, you have an enormous tradition of siding with the underdog. Some underdog you got.
I wish I could say something appropriately clever. I'm so happy about the outcome and the mandate that the president has received from the people of America that I'm actually so jubilant about the whole thing. I have nothing smart or clever or theatrical to say.
You've had a lot of criticism from some black groups.
Right.
Has that bothered you?
Yes, of course. I think, but, you know, let me not try to sit here tonight as the total bearer of it, Daniel. All of us, all of the black celebrities got it. James Brown got it, certainly heavier, I think, than anyone, because on a day-to-day basis, dealing within the black community on that day-to-day basis, they really laid it on him. We all know where it came from. We are pretty sure where it came from, but his convictions, as well as mine, or Jim Brown's, or Wilt Chamberlain's, or any of the black people associated with the Republican Party, they were sincere convictions, and you live with those sincere convictions.
What do you want him to do now in his second term?
I would like for him to deal with the problems here at home as well, which I trust the president will, as he has with the diplomatic relationships with Russia and with, with Red China. Meaning, I want the inter-city problems solved. Some of the programs that have been ignored or not implemented to the proper way, which I think he will do. I find the president, on a personal basis, a very sincere and honest man. And I know I would like to think, no one can say I know, but I would like to think that his point of view...
South Dakota going to President Nixon, as you reported a little while ago. And Sammy Davis has to take a moment out to shake a few hands. Sammy, the show goes on. We'll turn you over to your admirers a couple of minutes later. Michelle, I think, has a question.
Sammy, the question question that I think has not really been clearly answered to a lot of people, because at least a lot of people still ask me, is why a good Democrat, a long-time Democrat, has come out for Nixon. And even though you say because of your convictions, you know, specifically, what was it?
Very simply, I waited. I tried to acquire a point of view as after the Democratic Convention to find out what was happening. And as soon as the Democratic Convention was over, many of the black political leadership that I know on a personal basis got the door slammed in their faces. Those same men who formed the coalition suddenly could no longer get to the people supposedly in power, and they were ignored.
Well, are you suggesting that many of the black political leaders are going to be able to get to the people in power in the Republican Party?
Well, I would like to suggest that I submit, not suggest, I submit that the door has never been closed to the president's office of those people, those blacks in the president's entourage to talk to.
But when you look out at this crowd and most crowds for the president, then you really don't see an awful lot of black faces, and certainly the Republican convention's representation of blacks doesn't kind of hold up your submission.
Well, absolutely right. But I will say this, that I haven't seen too many black people on the Democratic side in the last 3 weeks of the campaign. I see more black people here tonight than anybody ever thought that the Republicans would ever have. And that, to me, is a move forward. And that means if it's here, and if it's in the administration, then those thoughts, that mental intelligence will carry through with progress.
And it's your hope, then, that this really does mean that blacks are moving away from the Democratic Party?
No, not away from the Democratic Party so much as with the administration that will do the most for us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Walter?
CBS News, Election Night 72 will continue in a moment.
This is my husband. Doesn't look like much, does he? But wait. See what he's got there? One of his JCPenney knit dress shirts for only $8. What he's always wanted. Comfortable. And what I've always wanted. No ironing. Watch. Every morning a different pattern, but every morning the same thing. It's coming. It's what I look for every morning. It's Mr. Dynamite.
It's the JCPenney knit dress shirt. Only $8, only at JCPenney. We know what you're looking for.
Save your money at a savings and loan. Your money does more than just grow. A savings and loan lends out money for homes, and that helps communities.